All right, so this is going to be a short lecture just to give you some guidelines on about peer editing. So what you're doing is helping one another. So you're building up good karma here, and you're also by peer editing your fellow students' papers, you're developing the skills to do a better job of revising your own paper and looking for issues with it. So the first rule, of course, as in life, is be nice, right? So make sure that you're always complimentary at the beginning. Don't be too harsh with your criticism. Uh, it's hard for anybody to have their writing looked at by somebody else, no matter how long you've been doing this. So always, be diplomatic, be complimentary. All right, now you can do it. A lot of people have had say, how am I supposed to critique? So I don't know how to write. I can't critique somebody else's. But you've been critiquing things ever since you told your mom at the age of 5 you didn't like her mac and cheese. All right. I'm sure plenty of you have never written a screenplay in your life, but you have plenty of times said a movie sucked. All right. You know how to critique things. You know when something is good as well. You can say when a movie was amazing. So you can tell what works, you can tell what does not work. And again, maybe it just does not work for you, but still, you can give that input to the writer. So show the writer what does and does not work for you yourself in the paper. As the person who's reviewing, who's doing the peer editing, what are the main strengths and weaknesses of the paper? I will give you a list of questions to answer as well, but this is the main idea you have to keep in mind. Where is the paper strong? Where could it be improved? Is the overall meaning effectively communicated? Do you understand what the paper is about? That's huge. Does it meet the essay requirements? I've had people turn in narration papers for cause and effect. Well, the people who peer edited should have said, you haven't written the paper that was assigned to us. You've written another paper. So make sure that that's done. How good is the title and the introduction? Uh, does the title interest you? Does the introduction draw you in? Do you know where the paper is going after the introduction? How strong is the thesis? Does it reflect the audience? So most of you probably have not thought of your audience before writing the paper. Please start to try to do this. Once you get the paper out to peer edit, you should have an audience written at the end. Sorry. What you need to do is after you've put the last period in, the paper in the concluding paragraph, hit your return key a couple of times and say, my audience is 18 to 36-year-olds, college educated, who own Humvees, something like that. All right. Uh, and make sure that the audience is reflected by the tone, by the knowledge base, by the words. Do all the paragraphs support the thesis? Is it a unified essay? Is it well organized? Do you understand exactly how one idea is connecting to the next idea and how it has connected to the one before? And is there a strong conclusion? All right, now as the writer, you should tell the reader where to focus. This is going to be a little difficult how to do this because I'm thinking most of you will do this in Google Docs. So maybe you can just, when you upload your paper, put a comment on where you want people to focus. Say what common problems you have. If you know you have trouble with concluding paragraphs, then tell the people who are peer editing your paper. If you know you have some grammar issues, like you have a huge issue with run-ons, then tell people that. Don't be too proud. Say where you know you have some problems. Say where you think there may be problems in this particular paper. Like, yeah, I think I did well overall, but I'm not sure how clear the thesis is. Something along those lines. Make sure when you get feedback from the people, you understand the comments. And if you don't, then ask if you need clarification and make sure you know where to go with the paper. What are you going to do now that you've got the peer editing comments? When you go to revise, what are you going to do exactly to revise based on the peer editing comments? Now, the other thing I will say at this point, make sure you take everything with a grain of salt. I've had people who wrote fairly decent rough drafts, but they went and did everything that everybody told them to do to the paper and ended up with just a mess of a paper. Make sure you're somewhat critical of the comments you're getting. Make sure you agree with it before you change things. Don't just change things because one person said to. All right, that's it. I don't know how well this is going to go since this is online. It's much different than doing it face to face in the classroom, but hopefully the peer edit will be fine.